In this video, we're going to show you a couple of ways to use our Interchange AI Gateway with the new Unsloth Desktop program to give employees a secure way to use AI with your proprietary business data. First, we'll show you how to set up the gateway to enable your business to share a custom fine-tuned model. Second, we'll set up the gateway as a proxy between Unsloth Desktop and cloud AI providers to enable cost control, context logging, and more. This is our first video in a series showing how to use different user interfaces with our Interchange AI Gateway. The gateway ships with its own user client, but like anything else, different users have their own tastes and preferences. Our gateway enables a business to bring its own user client, and the Unsloth Desktop program is a great option. We like it for a few particular reasons. Number one is that it is easy to install and runs locally. Unsloth provides installers for Windows, Mac OS, and Linux, so you can run it in a mixed environment of devices without the need to integrate multiple software packages. Number two, and this is probably Unsloth's defining feature, is that it makes it easy for you to fine-tune your own custom AI models. Number three is that we can set up Unsloth Desktop as a server to allow network access to an AI model. This means that your employees can securely share a model fine-tuned on your proprietary business data. Here we'll show you how to serve a model from Unsloth Desktop as a local endpoint through the Interchange AI Gateway. We begin by starting Unsloth Desktop. Then we're going to choose a model and load it. Here we're using a Google Gemma 4 model, which Unsloth downloads automatically. We're just going to click to load this into the GPU. This process would work the same for any fine-tuned model installed locally. We're just using the Google Gemma model as a simple illustration. From here, we go into Settings. And we go into the API menu, which is the place to set up Unsloth Desktop as a server that other computers can access. Here we're going to create a token, which is effectively an API key. Then we copy it. Then we'll go to the API monitor, which is where you'll grab the URL for the API server and the model name. These are the inputs you'll need to create the connection in the gateway. In this video, we're running Unsloth Desktop on Windows, and this is an early beta version of the program. As you can tell with this URL of 127.0.0.1, this is pointing to a location on the same device. We had to adjust some settings in Windows to create an IP address that enables other devices on the local network to connect to the Unsloth API server. We're not going to go over those Windows settings in this video, but you'll see us enter a different URL than what you see here. But by the time you watch this video, this might be a feature that gets added in Unsloth Desktop. Now we'll navigate over to the gateway and log in as an administrator. First, we'll go into the user client just to show you that there is no Google Gemma model available yet, since we haven't connected to Unsloth Desktop. If we navigate over to the admin console and we go look at the inference endpoints, we'll see that we have no local endpoint set up. So in our gateway, we have a blank slate. The first step in setting up the connection is to go into the settings menu, scroll down to API keys, and add a new API key. This is where we add the Unsloth Desktop token as an API key. For the provider, we choose a custom OpenAI compatible API and paste the key. Then we go up to the Connections menu and into Inference Endpoints. Here we create a new local endpoint. We can give it a display name which we'll call Unsloth Desktop Gemma 4. One very important setting for local models is that we can set the cost of these tokens to 0. Then we click to create the endpoint. Now you'll see that this endpoint exists, and we'll go ahead and enable it so that a user can see it. When we go back to the chat interface, we see that we now have the Unsloth Desktop Gemma 4 model available, and we're going to send it a message and generate the response locally. Then we can go back to the admin console and see a couple of things. First, we'll see that we had one message and one response. We'll see our token speed, the number of tokens generated, our user message, and the full reply from the AI model, all stored locally on the gateway. Here we'll show you how to use the Interchange AI Gateway to connect Unsloth Desktop to a proxied cloud model. But first, why would you want to do this instead of connecting Unsloth Desktop directly to a cloud API? One reason is because this way, a business does not have to expose its API key to every employee that uses the connection. Another reason to use the proxied connection would be if your business wants to prefix a custom system prompt for every session. Another reason could be to capture the messages for further evaluation. There are many reasons a business may want to proxy the connection, and those are just a few. Right now you can see the only model that loaded in Unsloth Desktop is this Gemma 4 model, which runs locally, and we have no cloud connections available here. To obtain the connection details, we go into the Gateway's admin console, we go into the Connections menu, and to our inference endpoints. Here we have two endpoints. We have a cloud connection to OpenAI's ChatGPT 5.6 Luna, and we have a local connection to the instance of Gemma 4 running on Unsloth Desktop. What we'll do is navigate into the ChatGPT cloud endpoint and expose it to third-party clients. We can give the connection a name here. We'll use a name like GPT 5.6 Luna Unsloth so that we can see this is a custom name coming through. We could also call it something different, like public ChatGPT don't share sensitive data. We can call the model anything we want. Then we'll turn on the toggle to allow self-serve credentials. This allows a user to obtain their own internal API key and set up their own connection. This way, your IT staff isn't inundated with people asking for ways to connect their interfaces and apps to various models. You can just let them do it themselves. So we turn that on. When we log in as our test subject, Alan Turing, and we come over to API access, we can see that we have no endpoints that allow us to connect using third-party clients. So we turn that on, and importantly, we have to scroll down and save those changes. So with those changes saved, now we can log out as the admin and we'll sign in again as Alan Turing. What we'll see is that Alan now has API access. We'll add a connection for GPT-6 Luna. The model identifier is going to be called General Marketing Model. We can scroll down to get our URL model name and we have our API key. This will be how we can connect to this model using another interface. So we'll take the URL back into Unsloth Desktop. Here we'll go into settings where we set up a new connection. We enable connections and add a custom connection. We input the API key. Now, we click to load the available models, and Unsloth Desktop sees the models we have available. Here is the model that we called the General Marketing Model. We'll add that connection. Save and close. Now when we're on the main chat interface, we'll be able to choose our General Marketing Model as a connected model. We can click it and send a message. Now, if we go back over to our gateway, and we sign in as an administrator, and we go to the admin console, and we go to the activity logs, we can see that Alan Turing sent the message through the API titled something about echolocation to the model GPT 5.6 Luna. We are now able to log the message and response sent between a third-party chat interface and a cloud API. Now you've seen how we can use the Interchange AI Gateway and Unsloth Desktop to enable employees to access custom fine-tuned models running inside an organization, and how the Gateway enables different people to use different chat interfaces, agents, and harnesses to access cloud APIs, all while retaining the tokens within the perimeter of an organization, and not fragmented across the servers of cloud model providers.